Hi everyone, I thought I'd drop in a little video. I don't normally like doing these sort of things. I'm asking all the tutors to send videos to their students and to say hi whilst we're in lockdown, so I thought it's only right that I should join in. And I've got some notes here, so hopefully some of this will be of use to you and give you some food for thought. I was thinking about 5 things we can think about during lockdown that might be of help. First one I was thinking about was, are you happy with your business? So are there any aspects you would like to change? So it got me thinking about people with salons, and often you do see on forums that people are saying that they don't have a work-life balance, they're working too many hours, they're finding doing back-to-back clients is quite stressful, understandably so. So maybe this time it gives you a little bit of a moment to pause and think about that and how you might want to change it when you return to work. There might be some things you can do to change things, and also using your time efficiently so that you can come back stronger once all these restrictions are lifted. I think that's important as well. And how do you use your time efficiently? What does that really mean? Well, a lot of people have been saying that they've been keeping in touch with their clients and thinking about their website, and as well as fitting in homeschooling and everything you've got to do in between, it's nice to set a little bit of time aside for your business and thinking about any changes you might want to put into place. So as we said, keeping in touch with clients is a really important thing to do. And you can do that through a newsletter, you can do that through text, keeping them updated, especially when people are wanting to come and have treatments and you don't know yet when you can open again. So it's really important to keep in touch with your clients, and it's all about human connection, isn't it? It's about keeping in touch, reaching out, and just being available so that you're not forgotten. And it's like a community. I think the one thing that's shown me recently is the amazing community spirit that everybody has, and everybody's trying to help each other, and I think that's one of the positive things that's happening right now. So it's so nice that we can actually have a moment to do things like this video and to say hello, because we have such busy lives and normally we just wouldn't have time to perhaps do these sort of things. But actually it's really important to reach out. So hopefully you can do that with your clients and they'll really appreciate it. So that's one thing you can think about. So social media as well. If you do have a social media account for your business, perhaps you don't and it's something you've been thinking of, that's a way to reach out to your clients and keeping them up to date. Maybe you've got some new things that you're going to be learning in the future and your clients aren't aware that you offer or will be offering those new treatments, so you could get in touch with them and let them know what is coming, and have a little chat about it. Perhaps think of one particular treatment that you can focus on and have a chat about that, giving them some more information. It's quite nice to do it on a either a Facebook Live or a video like this, because you're actually able to give more information than you perhaps could on your website. So it's a really nice way of doing it. And then point number 3 was spending your time efficiently. And what does that mean? Well, a lot of people have been talking about importance of routine, making sure that you've got a routine that you follow, otherwise you're sort of wandering around aimlessly in a haze. It's a very surreal time, it's a very stressful time, and you can get caught up in your head very often. So having a routine, similar to if you're homeschooling, I'm sure you're understanding that if you've got a routine for your children, they're really probably responding really well to that. So that's a really nice thing to think about, is having a routine for yourself as well, so that you can actually have structure to your day. I know that I can fall foul of this. I can, not have a routine and just get a bit lost in thoughts and not very much gets done. But sometimes you have to have a day that perhaps you do need a day off, and that's right for you. So obviously it's about balance, isn't it? It's about doing both. So the importance of a routine, and also your frame of mind as well when you wake up. If you're feeling a bit stressed and anxious, what can you do to help that? Maybe you can read an inspiring book, or if you're on social media, you can follow some people that really inspire you. There's a lot of podcasts and a lot of Facebook Lives at the moment that you can watch that are really inspiring. So that's something you can do that will put you in a really good frame of mind. I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes if you get up in the morning and you stub your toe and it's the first thing that happens, it puts you into bad mood, and things seem to escalate and get worse and worse during the day, and one bad thing, another bad thing, and then your whole day's ruined. And it's true that you can do the opposite as well, but be in a bit more control and have that choice, so that if you wake up in the morning and you listen to something inspiring, maybe you've got some spiritual people that you listen to, or people that have been successful in their business that you listen to, or you read, and you really find that puts you in the right frame of mind. And very often, if you do that, then other good things will follow. And it's just about practice, really, to see what works for you. So maybe just think about that and really think about what will help you get you in a really good frame of mind to start your day. And then the other thing we were thinking of as well was the importance of downtime if you're feeling overwhelmed. And sometimes people give themselves a hard time if they're having a bad day, but I think you just have to accept that sometimes that can happen. And so, if you imagine like a computer and you've got lots of windows open, what eventually will happen? It will crash. And I think that in these times, there's so much going on, so much to think about, so many new things and change and things out of our control, that our mind can literally become like a computer with too many windows open, and it's just overwhelmed. And I'm sure I've been feeling overwhelmed, and I'm sure my tutors have been feeling overwhelmed, and with a lot of you having to do homeschooling, there's a lot to think about. So maybe it's about making sure you carve out a time in your day that you can actually just stop, and whether that's reading a good book, meditating, or watching a movie that you love, just something where you can, rather than a distraction, have something that's actually going to really make you feel calm and happy, which is really important. So maybe thinking about, less is more, especially if you're trying to achieve things in business, with your business, and you're running around like a headless chicken in all different directions. It's not going to serve you, and you'll find that you'll be less productive. So perhaps if you give yourself, a good space in the day where you have some time off, read a really good magazine that inspires you, or listen to a great podcast that inspires you, and then go back to what you were doing later. And you might find that you'll be more productive even if you spend less time doing it, rather than having a whole day of just feeling frazzled and not getting anything done productively. Is just such a waste of everybody's time and your time. So that's, perhaps something to think about. And then also looking after yourself. I remember an Oprah series that I watched, and it was so inspirational, and she said that looking after yourself isn't selfish, it's self-full. And I really love that. So looking after yourself isn't selfish, it's self-full. And I thought that was wonderful. It was one of those light bulb moments that really got to me. And I remember her saying that you can't be a good wife, a good mother, a good friend, good anything if you're stressed and if you're not looking after yourself, because you'll be angry, or you'll be depressed, or you'll be overwhelmed, and everybody will feel that. Your children will feel it, your animals will feel it, everybody around you will feel it, and it's difficult. So if you can give yourself some time, whether it's a bath or a nice book, just take yourself away, so that you can recharge. It's really important. So I really like that what Oprah said about being self-full and not selfish. That really stuck with me, and that was years ago. And also about thinking about your car. You look after your car, you MOT your car. Why do we not look after ourselves? A good meal, supplements if you need them, rest, plenty of time out and away from everything if you need it. I know we can't go out, and I know that it's the new in is the new out and all the rest of it, and the new world and all the sayings that are being bandied around, but you just need to really think about yourself through this as well. So back to work, and perhaps you're thinking about your website if you have one, and just wanted to leave you with a few thoughts about websites and what you can do to really sort of make improvements, possibly. The one thing you can think about is the language that you use on your websites. And what I mean by that is that when I learned NLP many years ago with neuroscience, it was all about how people communicate. And we all communicate differently, but I don't think I knew that that was necessarily the case. And a lot of people are visual, and they'll give you clues about this in their language to you. So if you're having a conversation, people might say, oh yeah, I really see what you mean, and their eyes will be up here, and they'll say, oh, doesn't this look good? And oh, you know, if you visualize it in that way, it really makes sense. And when somebody's visual, they're really often looking up. You very often see people, you know, talking and expressing their body language in that way if they're very visual people. If you think about a depressed person, they're in their feelings. They've often got their head down. You know, they're not up here. So it really does, you know, it can change. You're not all one thing or all the other. So thinking about that on your website, it's nice to relate to people. And the other language is very much auditory. So the keys would be in language would be, oh, I hear what you're saying. Well, that rings a bell. And auditory language is important too. So think about that on your website when you're explaining something about a treatment and what you're trying to, you know, explain and sell, if you like. And think about the language you're using so you can reach more people, because it's really important to understand that different people's brains work in different ways, and it's nice to perhaps think about that. And the other way that people think is very kinesthetically, and kinesthetic people are very feeling in their feelings, so that they might walk into a room and say, oh, it doesn't feel right in here, I'm not getting a very good feeling, it's not a good vibe. Or they might say, oh yeah, I feel that too, yeah, I feel that. And they perhaps pick up on energy more and work in more of an energetic way. So again, you can think about your language when you're, you know, talking about a treatment and how it would make them feel, because you really do want to try and connect with as many people as possible. Now, obviously, in all walks of life, there's going to be places where people will abuse this and use marketing in a way that's, you know, not very PC and not the right way of doing things. And you'll get phone calls from people from, you know, trying to say all sorts of different things over the phone and manipulating, you know, the way that you can use language in a really negative way. But like with everything in life, there's a positive. And the positive to be able to really get a treatment to somebody who's going to really need it and really benefit from it by explaining it in a way they understand is really helpful. So think about that on your website. Think about colours as well. Colours in different industries can be very different. So if you look at banks, often they use red. It's a very strong colour, it's a very grounding colour. And then in our industry, it's very often purples, pinks, greens, you know, calming colours. And so think about the colours you're using on your website as well. That's really important. And also photographs for those visual people that perhaps don't want to read lots of information, but they like to see photographs. And photos can speak louder than words, as we know. Photographs can tell you things that hundreds and thousands of words perhaps can't with some people. So balance really of photographs and text is always good. Also think about your pricing. I've seen on a lot of forums that people are saying, should we put our prices up at this time because we're struggling? And they're worried that clients will not understand and think that you're taking advantage of them. Well, I would say that if you were thinking about putting your prices up anyway, do it. If you weren't, don't. It's as simple as that. Just go with your heart. See what feels right. You know, I'm a very feeling person, and there's my language. See what feels right. And see. So very different for different people, and you can dip in and out of different ones as well. It's interesting. So yeah, so pricing, value yourself, I think, is the most important thing. So many therapists don't value themselves, and their pricing is really low, and that can be a detriment, because some people will actually go to another salon thinking that what you offer isn't of value because it's too cheap, and you were just embarrassed to put your prices up, and they may really be missing out on a fantastic therapy that you're offering. So perhaps think about looking at different salons nearby that are offering something similar. Have a look at your average pricing and maybe go with that. You might find that you're charging £5 or £10 less than everybody else. Why? Do you not value what you do? Do you not love what you do? Do you not want to get it out to everybody and help people? I'm sure you do. I would say most people in this industry are here to help people and to share what they've learnt. So value yourself and make sure your prices reflect that. It's really, really important. And I'm just going to leave you with a little saying that I really love, that I learnt when I was doing my NLP training, that if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So try something different. Now, I think in these times of change and uncertainty, just really embrace that and just try something different and see where it takes you. And if you're inspired to do something that you've not done before, or you want to try something you've not done before, just do it, because that's what I'm doing, that's what my tutors are doing in these times. We're embracing the new. And on that note, look after yourself, stay safe, stay indoors. It's Easter coming, the sun's coming out, we know that, but please stay indoors and let's hope that the restrictions lift soon. And we're all sending you lots of love here from Gateway. We all miss you. And yeah, just send me some comments. I'm going to do some more of these, so, and the tutors as well. So let us know what you want to hear and what questions you might have about your salon, how we can help. Our tutors have often, you've got clients, their own private clients, so they've got a wealth of knowledge that they're happy to share with you. So just send us in your questions if you have any, and we're happy to come back and see if we can help if we can. So stay safe, have a happy Easter with your families, and if you're on your own, we're all thinking about you, we're all connecting and reaching out. We're doing discounts and we're doing freebies when we can to help you, so hopefully that will come across. Just check our timeline every now and again to see what we're doing. We've got an Easter competition coming up, which hopefully will be a bit of fun for you. So yeah, just enjoy this time with your families, and we'll connect again really soon. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye.